Humans might not be the tallest living beings on Earth, but there are quite a few of them who make giants seem real. The average person rarely grows beyond 6 feet, and yet there exist men and women with record-breaking heights. Among the billions of people inhabiting this planet, it's kind of impossible not to stand out when you're above 8 feet tall and towering over almost everyone. This kind of height comes with its own advantages and disadvantages, so the exponentially tall people have to deal with both. Here are 15 real-life giants who exist today. Number 1. Sultan Kösen. Kösen is a Turkish farmer who was born in December of 1982 in the village of Alabi in Mardin province of Turkey. The man holds the Guinness World Record for being the tallest man alive in the entire world. Sultan Kösen is a whopping 8 feet 2.82 inches tall. He is of Kurdish ethnicity, and despite being above 8 feet, he's the 7th tallest man in known history. As a child, Sultan was unable to complete his studies because of his increasing height, so instead he started working as a farmer part-time. His abnormal growth was a result of medical conditions known as gigantism and acromegaly, caused by a tumor that affected his pituitary gland. Because of this condition, Sultan uses crutches to walk. According to Kösen, being this tall allows him to see a great distance, and he can easily help his family and friends with domestic tasks like changing the bulbs and hanging curtains. But with pros, there are also cons, like not being able to find appropriately sized clothes, especially because his limbs are too long. He also struggles to find shoes that fit him. Sultan's hands are the longest measured in a living person at 11.2 inches. So finding gloves for him is a real challenge. It's also very obvious that he finds it difficult to fit into an average-sized car. Kösen received gamma knife treatment for his tumor and was also provided with medication to control his excessive growth hormone levels, and in 2012 it was confirmed that the treatment effectively stopped his growth. He married a Syria-born woman named Merve Dibo in October 2013, who was around 10 years younger than him, but they got divorced in 2021. Number 2. Rümeysa Gelgi. Rümeysa Gelgi was born in January of 1997, and she's currently the tallest living woman in the world. She is a Turkish advocate, researcher, and a freelance front-end developer. Rümeysa was homeschooling her whole life and was announced that the tallest living teenager in the world back in 2014. 7 years later, in October of 2021, she was announced as the tallest woman by the Guinness World Records. The 25-year-old also holds a number of other records, including longest fingers, largest hands, and the longest back on a living woman. She is 7 foot 0.71 inches tall. Gelgi lives in the Karabakh province of Turkey, and her abnormal height is a result of a condition called Weaver's syndrome. This is a rare disease which includes rapid growth hormone production among other abnormalities. It usually affects men 3 times more than women. As a child, she had to undergo open heart surgery due to congenital heart diseases when she was just 1 year old. Rümeysa uses a wheelchair to move around because of her condition, but she can also walk for short periods of time with the help of a walker. She also requires special seats in order to sit. According to Rümeysa, despite the challenges she faces because of her height, she is grateful for being the way she is. She also wishes to use her title to raise awareness of diseases and conditions like hers. In November of 2033, Gelgi was able to fly on an airplane for the first time in her life thanks to the efforts of Turkish Airlines. They had to remove 6 chair rows from one of their planes to ensure she had a comfortable flight from Istanbul to San Francisco. They replaced the seats with a special stretcher for Rümeysa. Number 3. Zainab Bibi. Zainab Bibi belonged to Rajana, a place in the city called Toba Tek Singh, located in Punjab province of Pakistan. Zainab was the tallest woman in Pakistan, with a reported height of 7 feet and 2 inches. She was named the tallest woman in the Guinness Book of World Records back in 2004. Zainab has been suffering from diabetes, hypertension, and osteoporosis for years. She was under treatment for a kidney ailment when she passed away in 2018 at the age of 46 years old. According to Zainab Bibi's relatives, her height began increasing rapidly at the age of 15 years, and by the time she reached 20, Zainab was 7 feet 2 inches tall. She first got noticed when popular television show host Tariq Aziz invited her to his show in 1998. After she was declared the tallest woman by Guinness World Records, Zainab was invited to a number of countries, and she visited 15 of them, including France, Germany, and UK. Zainab Bibi had mentioned her terrible financial conditions in an interview she gave to a private news channel, and said that she was struggling to make ends meet because of her illness. She remained single until her death, as her height and poor financial conditions were a hurdle in her marriage. Number 4. Andre the Giant. Andre René Roussimoff, better known by his ring name, Andre the Giant. He was a French professional wrestler and an actor, famous for his exceptional size. Born in May of 1946, Andre suffered from gigantism that was caused by an excess production of growth hormone. He was also called the 8th wonder of the world by his fans. He began his career in 1966 and later relocated to North America in 1971. From 1973 to the mid-1980s, Roussimoff wrestled for promotion throughout the U.S. as a special attraction for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. During the wrestling boom of the 1980s, he became a mainstay for the WWF. His feud with Hulk Hogan also helped attract public attention, especially when he defeated Hogan to win the WWF Championship in 1998. Roussimoff was a whopping 7 foot 4 inches tall and weighed 236 kilograms. His WWF career wound down after WrestleMania 6 in 1990. He then wrestled primarily for All Japan Pro Wrestling until his sudden death in 1993. Roussimoff also became an inaugural inductee of the WWF Hall of Fame after he died. He also tried his luck in acting and appeared in various movies and television shows: The Princess Bride, Zorro, The Greatest American Hero, Conan the Destroyer. In the 1974 Guinness Book of World Records, Roussimoff was mentioned as the highest-paid wrestler in history with an annual salary of around $400,000. He died at the age of 46 because of congestive heart failure, in his sleep at a Paris hotel, and left his estate to his sole beneficiary, his daughter, Robin Christensen. Number 5. Morteza Mesrad. Morteza Mesrad was born in September of 1987 in Rudsar, Iran. He's an Iranian volleyball player and plays for the national sitting volleyball team and the team of Meshar Babak. With a height of 8 feet 1 inch, Morteza is famous as the tallest living man in Iran and second tallest living man in the world. He suffers from a rare medical condition called acromegaly that is triggered by excessive production of growth hormone in the pituitary gland of the brain. He was over 6 feet and 2 inches tall at the age of 16. When he was 15, Morteza got into a bicycle accident and suffered a serious pelvic fracture. Because of this accident, his right leg stopped growing, so now it's around 15 centimeters shorter than his left leg. The Iran national head coach spotted this tall fellow in 2011 after watching a television program featuring unusual and differently abled people, of which Morteza was a part. He immediately got in touch with Morteza and convinced him to play sitting volleyball. After a selection of the national team and undergoing training, Morteza finally made his international debut in 2016 at the Paralympics qualifier. He was then selected for the national team and eventually went on to compete at the 2016 Summer Paralympics sitting volleyball final, in which he was the top scorer with 28 points for Iran. Morteza got the gold medal in 2016 Summer Paralympics, and then again he won 2 gold medals at the Golden Ball for the best player in the world in 2022. Number 6. Yao Defan. Yao Defan was born in 1972 to a poor family of farmers in the town of Luan, located in the Xinjiang County of China. Yao was recognized as the tallest living woman by the Guinness Book of World Records. She stood at a height of 7 feet 8 inches and weighed around 157 kilograms. Yao is recorded as the 3rd tallest woman in history, just 5 inches shorter than Xing Jilan, the tallest woman known in history. Her extraordinary stature was caused by gigantism, a condition in which a tumor in the pituitary gland relates excessive growth hormone. She was 6 feet 11 inches tall by the age of 15. Doctors who diagnosed her condition refused to treat her as her family was unable to afford the surgery. Defan was illiterate, so she traveled around the world with her father and performed for money. Around 2002, her tumor was finally removed in a hospital in Guangdong. Yao also appeared on the TLC cable TV network in 2009. According to the reports, she fell in her house and suffered internal bleeding, but eventually recovered. She passed away at the age of 40 due to an unknown ailment back in 2012. At the time of her death, she lived in a house she shared with her mother in a small village. Number 7. Igor Vovosinsky. Igor Vovosinsky, also known as Igor Ladin, was a Ukrainian-American law student and actor. He was born in September 1982 in Ukraine, SSR. He also bagged the world record for being the tallest living person in the United States at 7 feet and 8.33 inches tall. He originally belonged to Ukraine and moved to Rochester, Minnesota in 1989 to get treatment at the Mayo Clinic. Back then, he was at least 6 feet tall. Vovkinski also acted in a few films and commercials, such as the comedy Hall Pass. He rose to fame when pictures of him wearing a t-shirt that read "World's Biggest Obama Supporter" went viral at a Barack Obama rally. He was the first person to become the tallest living person in 2 separate countries. Igor also joined singer Zlata Ognievich in representing Ukraine in the Eurovision Song Contest in 2013. When he was 27, Vovkinski traveled to New York and was declared America's tallest living person by a Guinness World Records adjudicator on the show. His abnormal height was attributed to a tumor pressing on his pituitary gland, which causes an increased amount of growth hormone. Igor announced that he was undergoing treatment for a heart condition in 2019. He passed away in August of 2021 after remaining hospitalized for heart disease at the age of 38. Number 8. Robert Waldo. Robert Pershing Waldo was the tallest person in recorded history for whom there is undeniable evidence. Also known as Alton the Giant and Giant of Illinois, he was born in 1918 in Alton, Illinois. Waldo was a whopping 8 feet 11.1 inches tall and weighed around 199 kilograms at the time of his death. Oldest of 5 siblings, Robert was taller than his father by the time he was 8 years old. A special desk had to be made for him in elementary school. He was 8 feet 4 inches by the time he graduated from Alton High School. Afterwards, Robert enrolled in Shurtleff College to study law. Waldo required leg braces in order to walk and didn't have a lot of feeling in his legs and feet, despite that he never used a wheelchair. He became a celebrity in 1936 when he did a U.S. tour with the Ringling Brothers Circus and appeared at Madison Square Garden and Boston Garden in the center ring. Robert refused to wear a hat and tails for his circus appearance. He also did a promotional tour with the international show company that provided him with shoes free of charge. He wanted to be known as a person working in advertising, not exhibiting as a freak. Waldo belonged to the Order of Demolay, the Masonic-sponsored organization for young men, and also became a Freemason later. During a professional appearance in 1940 at the Mansi National Forest Festival, a faulty brace irritated his ankle and caused an infection. Robert had to undergo blood transfusion and surgery, but because of an autoimmune disorder, his condition deteriorated and he passed away in his sleep. Even his coffin was massive at 10 feet inches and had to be carried by 12 pallbearers and 8 assistants. In 1986, a life-size statue of Robert was erected opposite the Alton Museum of History and Art as a tribute to him. Number 9. Neil Fingleton. Neil Fingleton was born in December 1980 in Durham, and he was an English actor and basketball player. Fingleton was the tallest British-born man and also the tallest man in the European Union and 7 feet 7.56 inches tall. He is considered among the 25 tallest men in the world. His title as the tallest man was confirmed by the Guinness World Records in the summer of 2007. After attending a basketball camp in Connecticut at the age of 16, Fingleton decided to attend high school in the United States. He moved to Worcester, Massachusetts, and began attending Holy Name Central Catholic High School, from where he graduated in 2000. He helped the Holy Name basketball team to the Central Massachusetts Division I title and a berth in the Massachusetts final game in 1999. Fingleton was also granted a basketball scholarship to the U.S., and initially he played at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and later at the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester. He underwent back surgery in August 2000 and earned a medical redshift from North Carolina. He graduated from college in 2004 with a degree in history. His professional debut was in the 2004-2005 season with the Boston Frenzy of the ABA. He continued to play until 2007 when an injury forced him to retire. Afterward, he returned to Durham in order to make a career in show business. He appeared in a number of hit shows and films such as Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, Jupiter Ascending, and X-Men First Class. Fingleton passed away in February 2017 at the age of 36 in his home in Gilesgate due to heart failure. Number 10. Sun Ming. Ming Ming is a former professional basketball player belonging to China. He holds the world record for being the tallest professional basketball player in the world. Measured by the Guinness World Records, his height is 7 feet 9 inches and he weighs around 168 kilograms. Born in a small town near Bayan County, Harbin, in the Heilongjiang province of China, Ming Ming started playing basketball at the age of 15. He attended a community college called Ventura College in California and played basketball there for the 2005-2006 season. Afterward, he moved on to play professional basketball. Sun was diagnosed with a benign tumor that was attached to his pituitary gland back in 2005. But because he didn't have health insurance or the money to pay for his medical bills, his sports agent Charles Bonsignor initiated a fundraiser to collect the money for his surgery. The tumor was successfully removed in September 2005. Sun played numerous American minor league teams like 3 Dodge City Legend, Maryland Nighthawks, and Grand Rapids Flight. He also played in Mexican League with Fuerza Regis and Japan's BJ League with Hamamatsu Phoenix. Later in 2009, he returned to China and played for the Beijing Ducks in the Chinese Basketball Association. Ming also appeared on some television shows and films, like Rush Hour 3 and the Chinese show called Candle in the Tomb. He married Zhu Yan, who is 6 feet 3 inches tall, and together they are recognized as the tallest living married couple by the Guinness World Records, with a combined height of 13 feet 10.72 inches. Number 11. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal is often referred to as Shaq. He is a former American basketball player who is currently a sports analyst on the television program called Inside the NBA. Shaq is regarded as one of the best basketball players and centers of all time. He is 7 foot 1 inch tall and weighs around 147 kilos. He is a 4-time NBA champion and played for 6 teams in his 19-year-long career in the NBA. O'Neal was born in 1973 in Newark. His father, Joe Toney, also played high school basketball, but because of substance abuse, he went to jail when O'Neal was just an infant. Shaq comes from a tall family. His father was 6 feet 2 inch, and his mother was 6 feet 1 inch tall. By the time O'Neal was 13, he was already 6 feet 6 inch tall. He credits the Boys and Girls Club of America in Newark for providing him a safe space to play. He began playing basketball at Robert G. Cole High School at the age of 16 and helped his team win the state championship. His tendency to make hook shots earned him comparisons to the legendary Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. O'Neal also wore the same jersey number as Kareem. His professional career began in 1993 when he was drafted by the Orlando Magic in the 1992 NBA Draft. After 2 decades of ups, downs, and injuries, Shaq finally announced his retirement in June 2011. He also appeared in a number of films and TV shows, such as Off to School, Shaq Life, and Grown Ups 2. Number 12. Ekaterina Lysina. Ekaterina Viktorovna Lysina is a Russian model and former basketball player. Ekaterina currently holds a Guinness World Record for being the tallest professional model at 6'9". However, this isn't her only world record. She also holds the title of the woman with the longest legs at 4 feet 4 inch. Both her records are noted in the Guinness World Records 2018. She has also been officially recognized for having the largest feet among women in Russia. As a professional basketball player, Ekaterina competed for the Russian national team at the 2008 Summer Olympics and won the bronze medal. The 35-year-old model was born in Penza, Russia, SFSR, and weighs around 110 kilograms. Besides modeling, she also works as a cosplayer and portrayed Lady Dimitrescu, the antagonist in the Resident Evil Village. She's also a social media celebrity, and in November 2022, her social media following passed 10 million. She has garnered more than 117 million likes on her socials. Lysina is a follower of Hinduism now, and she became a vegetarian when she converted. Her unusual stature can be attributed to family genetics, as not a single person in her family is below 6 feet. Number 13. Sandy Allen. Sandy Elaine Ellen was an American woman who was recognized by the Guinness World Records as the tallest woman in the world. She was born in Chicago in June 1955 and was 7 feet 7 inches tall. Allen also wrote a book titled Cast a Giant Shadow. Over the years, other women have taken the title of the tallest woman. Allen alone held it for the last 16 years of her life. Her abnormal height was caused by a tumor in her pituitary gland, which led to uncontrolled release of growth hormone. Sandy grew up in Shelbyville, Indiana, and was raised by her grandmother, who worked as a cleaning lady. Allen would have continued to grow and suffer from the other medical issues associated with gigantism. Sandy also appeared in television shows and films, including Fellini's Casanova, Sideshow, and a documentary film called Being Different. She never got married, as she considered herself an old-fashioned girl, and wasn't willing to dare a man shorter than her. In the later years of her life, Allen used a wheelchair as her legs and back were no longer able to support her weight while standing. She was also bedridden at one point due to disease, which led to atrophy of her muscles. Sandy spent her final years in a retirement center in Shelbyville until she passed away in August 2008. According to her family, she suffered from a recurring blood infection, type 2 diabetes, breathing problems, and renal failure. Number 14. Olivier Richter. Olivier Richter is a Dutch bodybuilder, actor, model, and the founder and CEO of Muscle Meat. Richter is famous for his exceptional stature and physique. He is 7 feet 2 inches tall and was also the cover model in the November 2018 Netherlands edition of Men's Health. Richter was featured in a documentary by the same magazine too. Because of his size, Richter maintains a daily caloric intake of 5,000 for filming and between 6,500 and 7,000 calories for all other tasks during a 24-hour period. He takes 7 meals in a day, along with an oat shake made of ultrafine pats blended with a whey scoop. Richter was born with a condition called pectus excavatum that caused his bones to grow in a way that they squeezed the cardiac muscle. His heart was 20% smaller than it should have been, so he underwent a procedure that involved breaking his ribs in order to allow the lungs and heart to grow. He's appeared in several films, including Black Widow, The King's Man, and Louis Wayne. He's all set to star in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny in 2023. Richter holds the record for being the tallest professional bodybuilder in 2011. Number 15. Siddiqa Parveen. Siddiqa Parveen is an Indian woman who is currently listed as the tallest living woman by Guinness World Records. She's also the tallest Indian woman in recorded history. Parveen is 7 feet and 8 inches tall. She was born in 1986 in West Bengal, India. She first became famous when India TV News reported her to be 8 feet tall in 2013. She weighed a whopping 160 kilograms. In December 2012, Parveen was measured lying down by Dr. Shaha, who found her to be 7 feet 3.5 inch, but her upright height was estimated to be at least 7 feet 8 inch. Siddiqa suffers from gigantism caused by a giant invasive tumor in the pituitary gland. Because of her height and associated medical conditions, she was homebound and helpless for almost 15 ongoing years until she finally underwent surgery at the Premier Hospital. According to her doctors, this was the first one of multiple steps in her road to complete recovery. Besides the tumor, Siddiqa also had a vertebral spine fracture that prevented her from walking properly. Her doctors believe that if her condition had been diagnosed 10 years earlier, she would be completely fit today.